It's game one tonight, baby. We got the Heat and Nuggets at Ball Arena out in Denver, Colorado. So let's have some fun with this. He's an NBA reporter for The Athletic. He's followed these two teams and the playoffs very closely. He's Mike Vorkunov, and he's here to talk about the NBA Finals. All right, Mike, the first 3 rounds, appetizer. We got the main course tonight, so let's break this series down from a Denver point of view. There's a reason why they're the number 1 seed out of the West. There's a reason why they've won 6 straight. So what's the reason or reasons why Denver wins this series in its first NBA championship?
I got 2 words for you, Nikola Jokic. It all starts there, right? The guy who probably should have won MVP this year, he won it the last 2 years. He is the best player in basketball unquestionably now. If there is doubt, he erased it throughout this entire playoff run. Everyone saw, most recently how he just demolished the Lakers. And Denver has not, they haven't found a team this season that's been able to stop them. They had the best record in the West. They had the best player in the NBA. That's a pretty good formula to get to the NBA Finals. So I think it's going to be Jokic leading the charge, but Jamal Murray has been great. Like we saw him, he tore the Lakers apart. He dropped, I think, 37 in back-to-back games in the Western Conference Finals. And he's such a perfect player next to Nikola Jokic. Their 2-man game is so hard to stop. He can get his own off the dribble, too. He doesn't necessarily need to play in a pick and roll. And I think aside from those 2 guys, it kind of helps to be playing in Denver. They're 8-0. They're 8-0 in the altitude in this postseason. No one has beaten them there yet. But, those 3 things are a pretty good combination. And it's a good starting spot for Denver as they go into the series in Miami.
They got Joker, they got Murray, they got the altitude, but they're going to play against the team that's been the underdog and the party pooper throughout this entire playoffs. This team has brought the heat. So how does Miami go out to Colorado and take game 1 on the road?
Yeah, look, I think Denver is for sure the favorite in this series, but there's no chance I'm counting out the Heat. Like, they already beat the Bucks. And they already beat the Celtics in these playoffs, teams who both had better records than Denver this season. And if they come out to, Denver in game 1 tonight and they somehow steal it, I wouldn't be surprised. I think if they do it, it's going to have to be another epic performance from Jimmy Butler. Bam Adebayo is going to have to step up, not only defensively, he's probably going to be leading the way in terms of trying to slow down Jokic. You're not going to stop Jokic. It's just trying to slow him down a little bit. I'm very curious to see what kind of defense they throw at Denver and trying to stop Jokic. You saw the Lakers really struggle with this, right? They had one of the best defenders in the NBA. You might argue the best in Anthony Davis, and they didn't know whether to put him on Jokic, to have him play off the ball and off Jokic as a rover, and they just never could figure it out. Erik Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in NBA history. I think the best one going right now. So we'll see what he cooks up, how much zone we see. But if they come out and Jimmy goes off and you see a Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, one of those kind of tertiary players come out for a big game 2, I would not be surprised if this is close late in the 4th and Miami, does its thing and just somehow pulls out game 1 and shocks everybody.
See, I heard you mention some of Miami's supporting cast. We know about the stars in this series, but out of these 2 teams, who would you say has the better supporting cast?
I think Denver does. It's close, but I think Denver does because if we're counting Jamal Murray in the fold, it's definitely them. Even if we're not, Michael Porter Jr. is, he's gotten more mature this year. He's gotten better at everything but scoring, right? He's always a great shooter and a great scorer. He seems like he's gotten better at the other stuff. You have Bruce Brown, Contavious Caldwell-Pope. They have a bunch of wings that they can throw at you. And so those guys are really good. And Miami has a pretty good supporting cast of their own. We saw them, really help out in all 3 playoff series, right? Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, Max Strus, Kyle Lowry has been pretty good these playoffs too. Kevin Love has done some nice things. And so they got some guys. I think I'd go with Denver's if I had to pick one, but I think it's pretty close. It's just the difference maker in this series is the big guy atop the fold for the Nuggets.
Yeah, a lot of talent on both rosters. Last but not least, not really putting you on the spot here, you don't have to really give us a prediction, but how do you think this series is going to play out?
I love giving predictions because then it's just so easy to say I'm wrong. Like I said, I think Denver is the favorite. They're the 1 seed. They have the best player in basketball. Usually that's a pretty good recipe for winning a series. I think probably Denver in 6 if I had to make a prediction, but I think Miami's going to keep it close. I don't think that it's going to be Denver winning 3 games by like 20+ points. I think it's going to be a tight series the whole way, and Denver pulls it out for their first NBA title.
You just gained a lot of followers coming out of the Centennial State. I can tell you that. Colorado loves you right now for that that prediction that's not a prediction. Mike, thanks for joining us, man. I'm sure we'll come back to you at some point during the finals.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm happy to do this.